to Talking About. I'm John Griffith.
I'm Cara Kilduff.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you? So tired.
Oh, I know. It's like the opening is running and you're...
I was trying to get oxygen into my lungs. Otherwise known as yawning profusely. Oh my gosh. All right, I think the sugar's hitting me in the coffee that I had.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I was in Florida.
Florida?
I was in Florida. I was in Florida with the extended family.
Uh-huh. Were you driving around in a little golf cart?
I'm not in the senior community yet. I'm 5 years away from that.
Shh.
I had 2 numbers change while I was away.
What do you mean?
I had like 2. I qualify for AARP now.
I heard you qualify for AARP when you turn 50. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because my sister-in-law is all bitter about receiving the magazine. And I said, oh, do you sign up for that? She's like, no, it just shows up at the house. I was like, oh, that's cruel.
Well, my magazine hasn't showed up, but I signed up just to get the discounts.
Oh, Jesus. You sound like my father.
I want the discounts.
I want the discount yet even. What are you talking? It's not a thing for them, discounts.
5%, 10%, it's a good deal.
It all adds up. I had a good Thanksgiving. My takeaway from Thanksgiving was my sister-in-law wanted me to say grace, and she always has inadvertently has a one-liner, for every holiday, and she just said, we'll say grace when everyone gets their shit together. I mean, everybody was getting their plates, and I just thought it was so funny. And she's like, what? Oh.
Okay. Did you eat too much?
No, I hurt myself at the barbecue place we went to a couple days prior.
Okay.
I hurt myself with myself. It was good though.
So, I love when I'm down there and we do the all-you-can-eat Asian buffet.
Oh.
No, it's like on the weekends they have the good crab legs.
Ugh.
You got to go on Friday and Saturday night because they got the crab legs.
That's
let me tell you, they got the crab legs. They're delicious.
That's messed up. I know somebody that got thrown out of a Chinese buffet place because she let her piggy son, he kept going up and grabbing the crab legs, and finally they told him, you have to go. We don't have any more, we're not bringing out any more crab legs.
Oh, it's funny. It's like we go and we pig like you wouldn't believe. We do courses. We start with the soup. We do the little fingery things, and then once the fresh crab legs come out, we pounce on them, and we both get piles and piles of crab legs, and then we work on them. It's like we shell them all, and then we just go to town.
Oh, God.
I make the lemon butter. It's delish.
Oh, God.
And then we go into anaphylactic shock.
Oh my God. No, I did well. I didn't overeat. We had a nice time. It was real civilized. I slept a lot.
Okay, that's good. Well, you had a busy year, so you need a little rest.
Yes. Oh, MG. But you know what? December 7th at 7 p.m. at the Tank Theater on, hold on, let me give you the address.
Okay.
Uh-oh. What's my password? Sorry.
I don't know. Tell everybody your password, right?
No! Okay, so here's the address. 312 West 36th Street at the Tank Theater. My best friend Robin Cloud and I will be performing.
Okay,
we're each doing a half hour.
Okay, I haven't seen Robin in a long time.
No.
She needs an invitation next year.
Yeah, she does, because she's going to be moving soon, so she's going to come ASAP. So we're each doing a half hour we're taping it. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do stand-up or if I'm going to do characters. But yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Okay, I'm gonna have to definitely check that out.
$8, it's very affordable.
And the date is December 8th?
December 7th.
7th, okay.
Yep, 7 p.m.
Okay.
At the Tank.
You must go, you must come.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So what else is going on? A whole lot going on in the world.
A lot going on in the world.
So I guess it would be inappropriate of me to grab your boob when you say a lot's going on in the world.
Yes. I could grab your junk and say, are we going to have a conversation about sexual harassment or harassment?
Well, it seems to be all over the news on both sides of the political spectrum because people are pigs no matter what.
Yes.
I don't know. When I had a government job briefly, and the description of sexual harassment, not to be confused with sexual abuse, whole different thing. Sexual harassment is any repeated, unwanted, sexually related comment, action, or other, keyword being unwanted. And that's kind of the way I positioned my thought patterns with regard to that. But now the opinion on that seems to be all over the spectrum, at least throughout the media.
You know what, though? Speaking as a woman, I feel like we're not taking this anymore.
And you shouldn't.
No, it's just, it's everything in our society is, you know, this is the one good thing about the current administration in the White House is that, and I will say this is the one good thing, is that I think, is that it's ripping the scab off of our country. And what comes next after there's a wound that's been opened? You clean it out. So I think all of this stuff that's going on is actually a good thing. Things are going to be shaken up for a long time before they settle and the healing process can begin. But with, especially with the Harvey Weinstein stuff, you know, women are not going to take this anymore. Like, there's a woman in my neighborhood who works at the pet store, and I adore her. And she's so funny. And she told me she was getting off the train, and there was some old man behind her speaking in Spanish about her ass. And she speaks Spanish, so she understood what he was saying. And she just looked at him, and she spit on the ground right at his foot. And she said, I don't do things like that. I don't act like an animal, but I was just not having it that day. And I think that's indicative of women we're just not going to put up with it anymore. And it's so ingrained in our society that, you know, like, it's something so stupid like one of my flights, I had the aisle, this guy sits down in the middle, and he immediately spread his legs, put his arms on both of the armrests, and I was like, no, buddy, you don't get to do that. You paid for one seat, not 1.5. Like, move your ass over. You know, it's little things like that. Every time, you know, and I just think in general, women are not going to put up with this anymore, and it is good that people are speaking up. It doesn't matter what your affiliation is politically. It's just, it's wrong.
But I think there's a whole spectrum, and granted, men having more power in this world, because a lot of abuse is about power. I think we were kind of talking about this before the show, and you know, those who have the power can either wield it with grace or like a hammer, and unfortunately, slash fortunately, the hammer's being exposed right now. But there's a whole spectrum from, you know, it's like, you know, meant in jest to mildly inappropriate to you should be in jail. And yeah, it's like where does the punishment line begin? And that's such a huge gray area, at least in my mind, that it's kind of difficult, because there are people, at least in the online community, there are people who want to punish every infraction completely on the spectrum with the same amounts, and I don't necessarily think that making a crude joke that somebody finds inoffensive is to the same level of offense as grabbing somebody's butt.
No.
And you know, yes, there should be consequences in both cases, but the consequences aren't necessarily universal, and that's really difficult to gauge. And I'm grateful that I'm not in a position to make those judgments. I can only try to be the best person I can be. And that's not to say that I haven't done some stupid stuff in my life.
Who hasn't? But you know, it just seems, you know, if people are feeling that, oh my gosh, this is so out of control, this is a witch hunt, blah, blah, blah. It's just, no, it's just, all it took was one
pussy grabbing president?
Not even.
I mean, that's where the light started to come on.
Well, I mean, that's what it takes. Is just this. Now it's the good thing is people are feeling empowered to speak up and say, "Hey, this happened to me too. Hey, hey, this happened to me too." Oh,
absolutely, and that's a good thing. And every allegation needs to be taken seriously, but every allegation needs to be confirmed before people are crucified. And it's like there was something online from Corey Feldman, who went through a lot of abuse, and that's kind of what screwed him up in the head along the way.
Yep.
And he went on The View a couple years ago, and Barbara Walters herself shut him down.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember the exact quote, but she was on, well, it's like, you could be destroying somebody's life. And he was there to tell his truth, and she shut him down. Don't take that as an exact quote, but she did shut him down. I did see the video, and yeah, that kind of forced his issue back into the proverbial closet. And now he's starting to feel some vindication with everything that's going on, just from following him online.
Wow.
So, but that's another. It's like, this is a whole broad issue, but there are so many little compartments in that nasty little closet. Yeah, it's like there's predatory behavior toward a peer or a subordinate, and then there's the whole different issue that he had because he was a child.
Right. You know, unfortunately, we're living in interesting times, I think, because there has to be a major change with the way society is, and it's the only way we're going to progress as human beings is to shine the light on these things.
Right.
Shine the light on these things, expose these things, and then try to make it better. Try to be better people.
Right.
Better to our brothers and sisters who we share the planet with. And yes, that might sound hippy-dippy and, kumbaya, but what else is there? What's the alternative? I would rather be about a solution.
Exactly. Then
live in the solution than to live,
Right. And then there are also people who are trying to push that to such an extreme that everything becomes offensive. It's like, it's like, you make the smallest little joke, that's offensive. You can't do anything. It's like, if we follow that progression to the ultimate extreme, then almost every bit of humor in the world is lost, because as a comedian, that sometimes
that's not funny.
Sometimes to make people laugh, you need to push the buttons and you need to push the envelope, because in making them laugh, you're also making them think without realizing that they're thinking.
Yes. Oh, Lord have mercy. So much stuff was going through my head on the way here, and I was just amusing myself, and I was like, how much of that can I get away with? And, things are so different. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oof.
So,
Trying to swallow it. Shut up. See, there's a bad joke. Somebody's going to be offended by that, but I'm not offended.
Oh, that reminds me. It's like I was on a flight recently, and it's like it was the middle of the flight. It was during the beverage service, and nature called, so I had to get up.
Oh no!
And it's like I'm walking toward the lavatory. Male flight attendant is walking one way in front of me. Female flight attendant is walking toward me from the other direction. And then just one of them said, sorry, we're coming at you from both sides. And it's like, first thing out of my mouth was, it's not the first time. And only one person, actually the two people who were sitting next to me, there was like a 3-second beat, and then they started laughing. So that was the highlight of my flight.
What were you supposed to say? The highlight of one of my flights home was getting smashed in the back of the head with some guy's luggage, and he didn't apologize until I said something, and I have a beautiful bruise on the back of my head now. Thank you, sir.
Ooh.
And then my girlfriend was like, "What if you have a concussion?" I was like, "Well, I just can't sleep then. Whatever. I slept. I'm fine. I think."
Slightly altered. How many hands on my hands?
How many hands on your hands?
Okay, you're good.
Okay. What else is going on?
Well, holiday time is coming up.
Yeah.
Did you do the Black Friday thing?
No.
Or the Cyber Monday thing?
No.
The Small Business Saturday thing?
Nope. I'm so tired of everything being about buy this. Materials, material goods. I'm so sick of it. I just,
I broke my own promise this year. It's like I was in a Target on Thanksgiving evening.
No.
Yeah, but I didn't buy anything for anybody except for Toys for Tots. I bought 3 things. Hernan and I bought 3 toys for Toys for Tots. We each kick in $25 each and do something every year for that.
Nice.
So I broke my word, but it was for a good cause.
The only thing I went to the store for was, I wanted to buy my sister-in-law a pour-over because she's the only one who drinks coffee in the house.
Okay.
So I told her, I was like, this is easier than trying to make French press, especially if you have to go to work in the morning. And she's like, wait, I'm nervous. How does it work? And I'm like, it's real simple. You just put it over your coffee cup. Really? That's it? That's all I have to do? And I was like, yeah, and I bought you filters too. And she's like, okay. I think I can do this. And I was like, yeah, you can. It's so easy. That was the majority of my shopping.
Okay.
That was it.
That's weird. Because you remember they were trying to do like little coffee bags, like tea bags for a while?
Yes.
It didn't last very long.
No, because it probably made shitty coffee.
I'm sure.
Bleh. Bleh.
Totally off the topic. It's like somebody, I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody posted online this morning that they don't make whisk anymore.
The detergent?
The detergent. It's like, what the heck are people supposed to do about the ring around the collar now?
Oh, remember the commercials?
Ring around the collar. I tried washing it out. I tried scrubbing it out. What's a woman to do?
Oh, do you remember the one with the kid? The mother's like, you have your own kitchen, your own bathroom, and your very own ring around the collar. Oh.
Or my favorite one, which I couldn't find online, was like the laundry line, and the kids are outside doing like a ring around the rosy around the laundry line.
Yeah.
Ring around the collar, ring around the collar.
Oh, jeez. What prompted that to come to mind? Wait, Prince Harry is marrying
A biracial woman.
Yes! His mother-in-law is a black woman with dreadlocks. Yes! Even they're with the time. They're getting better with the times. The royal family in England. Oh my gosh. I think it's tremendous.
Yeah, the next generation, it's like, you can see Diana's influence on her kids.
You know what? All I'm going to say, and I firmly believe this, is that the future is beige. There's not going to be...
Which is why the sheet wearers is so frightened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the future's beige, people. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Those babies are going to be gorgeous. I don't know. I was having a conversation with one of my friends who wants to have children soon, and she was saying how, she wants these features and not these features, and she's like, I'm going to have to pray to my ancestors, like, come through for me, with the good hair. And I was just dying laughing. I was like, you need to stop it. But, yeah. I'm happy for them. Not that they care, but Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, congratulations.
Yeah, hopefully everything will go as planned and it'll come to be. And it's like I know 44 is probably going to get an invite and 45 probably will not.
Did you see how they decorated the White House for Christmas?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh my God, that's like some Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe shit. I don't know.
Did you see like the memes that have popped up in response?
No.
I saw a Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe one, a lot of Shining ones.
Oh God.
And just like assorted monsters and demons and different stuff that popped up. I mean, if you Googled
warmth. There's no warmth. There's no pulses.
Exactly. Well, I think a lot of how you celebrate the holidays reflects your soul.
Cold, empty.
It's dark.
Oh, yeah. No thanks.
White twigs. Little white twiggies.
It's scary. It's scary. I don't know.
Come to the White House and stay with us forever and ever and ever.
You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Oh, God. I don't know.
I don't know. You have to laugh or you'll cry sometimes.
Yeah, and I also have to limit the time I spend on Twitter.
I've been trying to pull back also because it's becoming more and more difficult to filter the reality from the emotion and from it's like there are so many sites out there that
I have a 5-minute limit.
okay,
5 minutes.
that
boom.
works.
If I start getting all crazy, then I'll put the phone down.
Well, with the end of net neutrality possibly happening, you might be in the slow lane before you know it. I mean, it's like if you're watching this before the net neutrality vote comes to be, please call your elected officials. Let's say, for example, one of the internet providers, I'll call it Verizon. If Verizon decides to make a competing site with YouTube, they could potentially slow down YouTube, so that you go to a Verizon site, or Domcasts could do the same thing. Okay, Verizon, Comcast, whatever. You wanna, and it's not that they're necessarily planning to do that, but they could legally do that if this comes to be, and it's going to screw over a lot of people. And, equal playing field on the internet, because the crazies are going to suffer too. Yes,
they don't think they will, but they will.
Mm-hmm. So there's a whole lot that people need to be aware of, and I definitely encourage people to just take a good, open, honest look at what's going on. Read up on both sides of the issue. It's like you see the information that F News is putting out, as well as the MS News, and decide for yourself what the truth is, and question both sides, because the Fox side of things and the MSNBC side of things are really, in my opinion, two sides of the same coin. It's infotainment on both ends of the spectrum.
Yep.
And you need to really figure out what the truth is in the middle. I mean, there are other sites that are more dependable and reliable and straightforward with their information, and then you think they are, and then they do a puff piece on the Nazi next door.
Oh, that is just so disappointing, y'all.
It was, and it's
like you can't normalize these people. Why? Why would you even want to?
Unless that's where your sympathies are, and how that got past the editor-in-chief without some serious revisions, I don't know. I mean,
what did you ever think you were gonna see the day when there was an article about your friendly neighborhood Nazi in an American paper?
No. It's really disheartening, but it's also the news media unfortunately reflects the world around us. And, we have people in power who have worked hard to normalize that, and the Times is reflecting that, unfortunately. It's also fueling it.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to go.
We do live in interesting times.
Yes, we do.
Trying to stay in the light, the positive side of things.
Stay on the positive side of things, but get angry where it's appropriate.
And speak up.
Speak up. Take action. If you see something wrong going on, don't put yourself in harm's way, but don't let anyone else remain in harm's way either. Take action. Help. Do something nice for somebody. Especially, I mean, right now it's like we're entering the holiday season. People are more inclined to do something nice for somebody during the holiday season, and this is going to end up on the internet, and the internet is forever-ish, depending on net neutrality, and carry that spirit throughout the year, and try to do something a little bit nice every day.
Do we have to? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, it's like, I don't agree with everything. I like Ms. DeGeneres, and one of her catchphrases is, be good to one another, and that's one thing that I can get behind. And I agree with a lot of what she says. I'm not always on the same page with her, but that's human nature. It's like I love you, your family, but we're not 100% on the same page all the time, and that's what we do. So it makes these discussions more interesting sometimes. Yeah, you call me out on my crap, and I worship you, as it should be.
Well, I was thankful at our Thanksgiving table that we were all on the same side politically, so there was no awkward discussion.
Even in Texas.
Even in Texas. You'd be surprised. There are a lot of forward-thinking people in Texas.
We need to get them to vote.
And if more, okay, here's the thing. I know a bunch of people who have moved to Texas, Democrats. If more move to Texas, maybe they can turn the state back to blue.
Yeah, well, it seems to be, the numbers seem to be moving in that direction. So we'll see. I mean, because the cost of living is much more reasonable down there for the time being in certain areas.
Well, yeah, the cost of living is less, but people also get paid a lot less.
Yeah.
And it's a right-to-work state. Unions are not encouraged. There's a lot that's not so great, but,
Yeah.
I do love it. Oops. Lost my microphone down my shirt.
Let me grab that for you. No.
There we go. Whoopsie.
I'll see you in court. Oh, my goodness. So it's like, we got about, so those dates again. December
7th at 7 p.m. at the Tank Theater, which I think I said it was 326 West 36th Street. Hold 1 second.
Hold, please.
Hold, please. That's offensive. Wait. What? Oh, jeepers.
I don't know. Hold, please isn't offensive.
312 West 36th Street, the Tank Theater. $8.
$8. $8.
American dollars.
So 8 on the 7th.
Yes.
Very good.
December 7th, 7 p.m., Tank Theater, 312 West 36th Street.
And if you're catching this on a rerun after the fact, follow the Twitter.
It'll be great.
And yeah, it's going to be great. You're always great.
Thanks. I'm going to probably be doing some characters.
Can't wait.
Inventing. As an alter ego.
Okay, so, well, got to wrap this up?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, talking about, talking about.